Bow, 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 bow. All right, so we got a very special guest. He's gonna be tough to beat, to be honest. I think Matt is the man.
Get it going. One shrimp, ready? Hibachi style.
I had a great time out on the course with him. I certainly learned a lot, and I think you guys will too. Matt really understood the assignment. He showed up excited to talk about his entrepreneurial journey, excited to share some personal experiences, overcoming objections and failures, things that he's faced personally, and the lessons that he's taken away. I think you guys are gonna learn a lot from him. I sure have. Hopefully one or two of you can really take these lessons, run with them, and do some amazing things. OBX Boil Company, they got kitchens all up and down the Outer Banks, as well as down to Florida, up to Ocean City, New Jersey, and pretty much everywhere in between. So Matt's taken over, best pot on the beach, highly suggest. He's got 13 years in the industry of boiling seafood, selling it to people, and making a ton of money doing it. So let's listen to what Matt has to say about running a successful business, making customers happy. Matt is onto something special. He's created a recipe for success, and he's going to share it with us today. So stay tuned for Matt's right approach.
It's amazing stuff, brother. Yeah. Dude, this has been great.
That's awesome,
Thank
man.
you.
I'm really happy you were able to come out.
This is dope. This is fucking awesome.
Honestly, this is one of my favorite days that I can remember in a long time, dude.
Work
up there.
Good bird. God, if I missed that on camera, I love this course, man. That's a good feeling when you can tell your homies, hey, dude, you got 10 grand coming your way. You know?
That's a unbelievable feeling, I bet.
That's pretty sweet.
That's kind of like one of the biggest reasons to get into owning your own business.
Oh my gosh.
You can, share the wealth and spread it with your friends.
Well, and that's always been a real driving force for me. Is like, I always just wanted to see my homies do well. You know what I mean? Which 100%. Is like, and that's super dope. Like,
just succeed with your friends,
exactly,
right? And then you can all just enjoy it together.
There's a J. Cole song I think out there. It's like, what good is first class if my homies can't sit? What good is the bread if my homies can't eat? And it's like, yo, that's always resonated, right? Like,
100%. That's sick.
I think he uses different different language, but
different verbiage.
Yeah. That's my most favorite piece about the Boil Company, like as far as just the Boil Company's growth, is seeing my homies kind of,
totally,
build their own business and their wealth that way is special. Look, I wish my grass at my house looked like this, First one in wins.
Deal. I thought you were going to beat me to the cup there.
That was a good run at it. I'm ready to rock.
I think we're going to put up a good round today.
I'm with it, man. I like the optimism.
I try to play golf with an optimistic outlook.
The whole format of what you're doing and what you're building here, and with this podcast, the topics you're covering, I think the ability to get people together to talk about golf, play golf, but then talk about life and business and entrepreneurship, which is so near and dear to me. I think that's what made this like really, really fun for me. I'm not a shy person, so I like to talk, and that's been really good to me in my career, especially from the Boils Company side of things. But this was just nothing felt forced. It was very, very natural.
Nice. That's great.
It's such a great way, I think, to embrace the competitive spirit that is the sport of golf, the funness of it, and to be able to talk shop is awesome. To be able to talk about entrepreneurship, talk about community, talk about things that matter to us. And you said it, and I think this format, this whole thing, ultimately, if this helps one person, I mean that's huge. Golf. This is fun, guys. Thank you. I'm glad this is just fun. This is cool. I like this.
Glad you can make it out, man.
Absolutely, man. This is perfect. Yep, we're green.
We're hot. Let's roll. Cool.
Let's do it.
All right, so we got a par 4 here. Pretty straightforward. Just let it rip.
All right. Let's get after it.
Beauty.
Stay.
Great shot.
All right.
We're in business. All right.
Out of the gates, we're all right.
That'll play.
Skip.
Good thing you're in play. There's the top and the ball in the first tee. Did it yesterday too.
Hey man, we got to get rid of these bad shots early, right?
Get him out. Good job getting that in play. That's also like the best part of the scramble is I don't have to even think about that shot ever again.
Exactly.
Moving on. That's actually been, that's like becoming a trend. First tee, topping the ball with the driver, and then it's smooth sailing.
And then you're good
after
from
that.
there, right? You know?
Yeah. I did it yesterday, and I was like,
You guys played Kurtzak yesterday?
yeah. We did a scramble as well. Jed ripped a bomb, so it was like, all right, move on.
Yep. Get out of here.
Couldn't do that if you tried.
It would have been worse if it hit somebody.
All right, I got a smooth little 8-iron here. He said 132.
That was way out.
I got this.
All right. Good looking ball. Sit there.
Good. All right,
Nice
we're
ball.
on. Take it.
Good ball.
On and two. It's a green and
That's
red.
right.
So, what's the goal for today? What do you want to try to aim for?
I'm usually in the 100 range when I'm by myself,
Okay.
but from a scramble perspective, I think we could probably stay right around 80 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe sub 80.
I think we could do that. So you shoot like 100, 105 on
Yeah,
average?
you know, I tend to have a few cocktails at the turn, and
Sure.
it tends to go downhill when I play. It's always been a release, right? You know, I think for everyone, it's just getting out here. It tends to be a release, and like you said, you know, when you're playing, it doesn't have to be so darn competitive, right? Like it should be that release, that fun. I think that's what we all want. But as a former athlete, you know, playing sports, you know, in high school and then into college and then, you know, coaching now, there is a competitiveness to me that like you always want to play well, right? You know, so
you always want to perform.
exactly, absolutely.
Always setting goals, like
No
so
doubt.
You're an athlete,
Yeah.
so yeah, like you're kind of just trained to be goal oriented
Absolutely.
from the start.
There's multiple layers to that too, from like a business standpoint, right?
Totally.
That flows into my business life. And then hiring. I tend to have a lot of success when we hire athletes.
Oh,
Athletes,
I
you know,
bet.
with people with athletic backgrounds and things like that. You know, that helps. I mean, when you're part of a team, you know, at least understanding what part of a team is, I think that helps you in the business sense of the world too. You know?
Big time.
Jed on the camera here has been with the Boil Company for what, 4 years, Jed? 4 years. So we got a lot of good retention, but you're always replacing people too every year. And this is not a total shot at the younger generation, but over the past few years, the younger generation has been much trickier to deal with as employees. You know,
really?
so
Interesting.
yeah.
So we got about 18 feet. This is a birdie putt. What do you think it's doing here? I feel like it's going to move a little right to left,
That's what I'm seeing.
just towards the front of the green. All right.
It's a little bit of a slope there. I think it goes downhill off this ridge, maybe.
I think so too. I see that.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a roll.
Let's go ball. Maybe.
Oh, I'm not mad about that. A little less break than I was expecting.
You say a little more straight at it. Maybe about a cup, half cup. Oh, way off.
All right, no problem at all.
Way off.
Should be able to get a.
That's a
mark
tap in there.
Yeah,
for you,
that's a little tappy guy.
right? Hey, that's the way to get a par to start, though.
Yeah, good par.
Good stuff.
Good par to start.
That's right. That's right.
Take it. Good par. Oh man, you got a dragonfly on your head. It's sitting right on top of your head. I thought you had like a little spinner on top of your head for a second.
Get the umbrella out, right? The younger crowd, man. It's and I don't think it's all their fault. You know, I think part of it too, for a lot of these younger folks that are coming out of college now, was they had to deal with everything that was the pandemic
Sure.
as part of whether it was they were in college when it happened, or they were in high school, and the lack of at that point people were home, and not working and not in school.
Yeah.
So there's like a social component that I think probably had a pretty profound effect on them.
I'd say so.
I mean, for us, like in a business sense, COVID was the best thing that's ever happened to us at the Boil Company, right? All we do is takeout and catering. We didn't have to adjust anything, we wore masks, we had sanitizer, we had all the things, but for the most part, it was, all right, we're cooking, we're socially distanced, we're doing those things, so it worked for us.
I can see how COVID would maybe in some ways boost your business, actually.
For us in the Boil side of things, and in these kind of touristy beach towns where there's so much density in terms of people and so few options in terms of restaurants that can seat big groups.
Right,
For us, that's a huge leg up, right?
Wow, that's a
we
great
become
point.
that kind of dining dilemma solution, right? We come to the folks, we cook, we serve, we clean, we take away the trash, we bag up leftovers.
Jeez.
That's huge, right? So reviews are incredibly important. As soon as they open the bridges, man, the place went
Floodgates
crazy.
open.
Yeah. And everyone just, like, international travel was out, right?
Right.
You didn't have the ability to really travel, I think, the way a lot of people wanted to. And they came to the Outer Banks, in droves. Uh-oh, there's that dragonfly jet. Tell you, it's so pretty out here, though.
This course is gorgeous.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, Lordy.
I think you got in their pool.
I think it's in their pool. See, the water here scared me to hit it into that water. All right, show us the way.
Oh, get up. Oh, we're in the sand over there. Not the best.
Well, hey, better than in the pool of the neighbor's house.
Yeah, we're playable.
Okay, I think in playing golf too, it's problem solving, right? Critical thinking.
Oh, yeah.
It's the creativeness in certain shots and how do you play those to get out of places, and there's a lot of parallels with golf and business, right?
For sure.
I think it's just a fun sort of thing to kind of map things out,
That's what I love about the game is the strategy. And honestly, that's what I like about the idea of business is like, it's a strategy, right? You need to have a plan, create a roadmap,
right,
and then try to actually execute on it.
Absolutely.
Watch your feet. Oh man. I just went through that thinking that it was good, but that was
a little deeper than we thought, huh?
Yeah. Oh, we're in a fine spot.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that should be good there. I'm fairly certain it is swimming in that pool, though.
All up and down.
Yep. Get up. Good ball. Sit. Hit it.
All right. It's rolling
Sit.
still.
Nice ball.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you.
Nope. Soft.
It's all right. We got a putt. Grab your putter for you.
Thank you, sir.
Same distance. We got 18 feet. All right. 18 feet. This time it's going a little to the right.
That's it. Go.
Ooh, had a little bit more break at the end there.
Yep.
That was a good putt.
Good putt.
I'm happy
Great
with
putt.
that roll.
Come on down. Come on down.
Oh, good putt.
That was the right pace.
Tap that one in.
God, if I missed that on camera, how bad would I look, huh? I also have this kind of term we use called Relentless Ambassadorship. And what that is like for my guys and gals that are operators at these locations, it's, wear the hat, wear the t-shirt, strike up conversation at a bar, at a restaurant, on the beach, wherever it may be, but talk about your business in front of people.
Sure.
Because marketing has changed significantly from when I first started. It used to be print, it used to be radio, it used to be a lot of different avenues. Now it's social media. Now it's digital. And it's the one thing that hasn't changed in marketing, though, grassroots, really organic marketing is the best, hands down, best way to build business. You know, so it's talking to people, it's sharing your business with folks. Hopefully they become customers, but then those people, if you've given them a good experience, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their neighbors, they're going to tell their family, they're going to, like, the business grows exponentially that way.
Yeah. Referrals are so valuable.
It's incredible. And I think for us, you know, the Boil Company, we have some insane number of like customer retention. It's like 75% or something like that, which is a huge number of like repeat visitors. And they visit us in all these locations, or they come to Kerala for that 1 week of vacation every year, right?
Seeing 323 here, some water to play with. I think out near that bunker is probably the best spot to land.
Wow.
Go.
Great shot. Wow, that was a bomb.
All right. A little out to the left there.
Damn, low again. We'll take it.
It's still running too.
Yeah. Gotta get my full size tees out.
That's what it is.
Yeah, something like that. I got just enough of that ball.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, right on.
Hanging on for dear life. Woo.
Well, 2 in play though.
Yeah, we'll take that all day.
Work. I have a buddy of mine who he's one of the pilots I have within the aviation company.
Oh yeah.
He's an awesome dude. His name's Chris Taylor. His wife actually runs our social media and has done an absolutely amazing job with the social. But Chris and I have always talked about, you know, flying, putting a similar sort of setup in, and doing basically the podcast in the plane, like as you're flying, you know, talking and stuff. You know?
Please
so
do that.
that would be that would be a fun little adventure to do, you know. And,
so it's funny you bring that up. Actually, one of my kind of bigger picture goals for this channel is actually eventually to invite a family out for a golf weekend instead of just taking you out for a day. I want to invite a family out for like a golf weekend and charter a jet. I work in aviation, so charter a jet and have it be a whole like
very cool
prize for them, and then obviously get video of the whole thing and the whole
now as far as what do you do as far as aviation?
I'm a broker for a company that charters private jets.
Yep, so that's exactly what we do. It's like so my buddy Chris, he runs basically that side of it. So he works with the brokers to get them on our aircraft. As far as flying.
So I'm calling up people, like you that have aircraft. And
exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
What are we looking at?
So we're flying single engine piston right now. Yeah. But we've got some King Airs. We got some other aircraft that we're bringing on.
King Airs are great. That's a great tool.
Yeah.
You know what? We should hit your shot.
You say I think that might be the better ball here, right?
Yeah. Pulled up a little short. So what are you guys running right now? You have a PC-12 or?
Well, I'm actually, we're looking at a PC-12.
Okay.
We're looking at some King Airs.
Totally.
We have 2 Saratogas right now that we have for charter. I bought mine in 2020.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
And then against my accountant and my attorney's advice. But I loved Top Gun as a kid. I flew planes as a kid, and I always wanted to be a pilot. But the serendipitous nature of it is, cooking shrimp has allowed me to do that too, which is pretty sweet. So,
big time.
All right, see if we can land this short and run it up. No, you chunky.
Yeah, it's playing extra soft.
It is.
So even the turf is gonna.
Good ball. Get up. Go. Nice ball.
All right, we'll take that.
Good stuff.
Should be able to get there.
I'll walk it up. Grab mine. If you can grab my putter for me.
Yeah, sure thing.
The charitable side of the business that we've kind of created, and we'll get into that, but that's kind of been, I think, my biggest achievement is now what we're doing with that. But cool. It's very close in terms of watching my homies kind of, become part of it and, just do really well through the Boil Company.
And see them become the best version of themselves.
No doubt. putt.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, started a little bit further up that hill. Nice putt. Great putt. Ah, yeah.
And par will work too. I thought that was gonna go a little less
Yeah,
pace.
me too. I was looking money the whole time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, still 1 over through 3. Got a green and red.
Yeah, we're off to a good start.
So now, how did you get involved in aviation?
Luck, just random, actually. Great question. Yeah, I was in an airport in Tampa, actually. I was just visiting my aunt, and I graduated from college like earlier a couple months ago, and I needed a job. Looking on Indeed, I typed in travel, thinking maybe I'd find something doing travel writing or travel photography.
Sure, sure.
And I have a degree in criminal justice, by the way, so
very
totally unrelated. Yeah, pretty random. I came across this company that was a private jet charter based out of Teterboro.
Okay.
Honestly, didn't even think it was a real job. I thought it was some sort of Indeed, like, you know, a fake.
Yeah, just a random posting.
Yeah,
Right.
Some scam or something. I just left the tab open for a week. Applied to a bunch of other jobs. Figured, you know what, I got my resume already put together. Let's just send it over to these guys.
Right.
They called me up right away. It was a real company. They'd been around for 30 years. And basically, they gave me like a test. You know, they were like, here's a sample trip. You know, break it down. How would you tackle this?
Sure.
I gave them a whole, like, you know, this is where we're going to get the catering from. This is where the car service is
Oh,
coming
very
from.
cool.
Yeah. I think I had, I didn't actually book a plane, obviously, but I did the research. I recommended a Falcon 7X for this trip from New York to, we were going to Beef Island.
Okay,
So,
yeah, absolutely. Gotcha.
yeah, they were really blown away with the thoroughness of the project and gave me a job basically as like an intern, basically.
That's so cool, man.
Trainee, so yeah. And I've been doing that for going on 7 years now.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm interested to kind of hear your thoughts on it, but you know, during COVID again, you know, that was a really unique opportunity to kind of be involved in, right? Like, we all knew if we were flying commercial at that time, it was a disaster. I mean, you know, it was absolutely terrible. But private, I remember I bought my plane at the end of 2020. I was chartering flights out of the Outer Banks here that summer. But when I started flying in that, you know, kind of sector, if you will, there was less masks. There was less, you know, hustle and bustle. It was a much more fun way to travel, you know?
Way more pleasant, yeah.
All right, any hazards here we need to worry about?
You know what? There's water up the left side. Oh my, that was a beauty. Holy cow, you hit that far.
Water.
Oh yeah, you got wet.
Damn.
I might take less than, this is a long par 4. I might take my 5 wood out though. Nah, you know what?
Hey, shoot or shoot, baby.
Score doesn't matter anyway. Keep it up the right side if we can. Yeah, this is a 440. Wow, that's far. All right.
I just missed hitting that tree too.
That was a bomb, man. If you had just hit that like 10
little
yards
bit more
right,
right
that would have
there,
been absolutely perfect. There it is.
Snap
Keep
around.
cutting.
Snap around.
Yeah, it came down.
Yep, I think we'll be in good shape over
Way
there.
more than I wanted it to. I pulled that like crazy, but that was that was the water's influence there.
That's it.
Gotta stay dry.
Compensate, baby.
Yeah. I left my work phone at home today. So I got 2 phones, one for work obviously, and then my personal one. Man, that work phone, it like knows when I'm busy.
Yeah.
It knows when I'm busy. It's like, oh, you got a trip request, you got attention on this one.
I tried to do the work phone, personal phone thing, and then I couldn't keep track of anything. So if I have one thing, you know, one device, I can keep it all on. And just with all this, you know, there's 9 locations, you know, from Jersey to Florida, and there's always something that needs to be addressed, right? For us, you know, especially here in the Outer Banks, the weekends are lighter. It's travel days, you know, people are in transit, et cetera, et cetera. The middle of the week is always chaotic, but some of the other locations are, you know, more busy on the weekends, you know, and there's just always something that kind of tends to come up that you have to be careful of. Well, and the nice part is, you know, having good help, you know, that's what is always the most helpful.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning.
If
It
you
takes
got
people
good
to
people,
succeed.
look, and I think it's two-sided too, right? People can be your biggest asset and your biggest liability, and that's the biggest trouble. You know what I mean? I can predict the business, I can predict the things that happen with it, but people, you can't predict.
People are the wild card.
That's right.
And they provide the most value and sometimes the most risk.
I'm seeing.
I just read 165 to the flag on that.
All right, and we're playing from back there.
I'll add 25 to that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's 190, and I'm gonna hit a 5-iron.
That's what I'm gonna pull to.
Oof. A little bit of a tough lie. Oof. We should be able to get out of here. Although, is that a root? No. It's not. All right, so about 190. Little tree above us, but not too much of an issue.
And keep it low.
Yeah.
Out of the water.
Yeah.
Tough shot here. Tough shot.
This could be a good one. I'm just gonna try to make good contact and get it close.
Pretty.
Oh,
Stay there.
just
Right on the green.
off the back. We'll take it.
That looks solid, man. Good ball. Really pretty from there.
Thanks. That felt good.
A good ball from there, though, man.
I'm happy with that. That was
Hazard in front of you, under the tree a little bit.
That could have gone so many different directions.
That's the fun part about it. Again, you know, golf is just, it's a little unpredictable. I mean, for me at least, you know, it's unpredictable. I only play, you know, I get to play so often. You know, it's more so playing in the wintertime when we have downtime.
Right.
This time of year's tough, you know, trying to fit around in. It's hot, it's this, it's that. It's a different ball game in the summer when you're working 6-7 days a week. And in the off season, man, the ranks just goes to ghosting.
Yeah.
So, you know, Jed works at the course. I get a couple of Dagan is another guy that works at Currituck that works for me as well. And that's always actually been a really good pipeline for me here in the Outer Banks is golf. Guys that work at a golf course, you know,
Get those athletes.
come into work, you know, at the Boil Company. The timing works out good. They come and work it for me in the evenings, do the course in the mornings, and we've had some really great success with those guys. So
that's pretty cool that you're able to recruit straight from the course and have that work out and have people like Jed say, hey, this is a great gig, you know, maybe to the new guys.
They become huge ambassadors for us, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I see Jed on Instagram and Snapchat all the time.
Exactly.
Like, it looks like a blast.
Man, he can handle it, you know, and you're out there, you're meeting people, it's super fun. I think that's the coolest part for me, you know, in the Boil side of things, is we've always built that business on, here, I'll grab the pin.
Thank you.
I built the Boil business really on relationships rather than transactions.
Right.
That's a really fundamental way, I think, for us to do business. But now, you know, 13th season doing it, there's families I've done for 10, 11, 12 years. Done a Boil for one night of their 1 week of vacation in the Outer Banks and gotten very, very close with a lot of families.
You're part of their vacation, part of their family memories. Like that's so cool.
And it's the experience rather than just the food, right? You know, we're there to hang out with these people for 2 hours, you know, per event, and it becomes really, really fun, you know.
And plus the way you present it, it's like it's a whole thing. It's really not just the food. Not to mention the food is good though.
No doubt, no
which
doubt.
Is cool.
The food has to be good too, right? If we're throwing, you know, nothing good on the table, you know, no matter how fun we might be,
right?
They might not be calling us.
You don't get those repeat customers 12 years later. All right. Okay. Let's talk this one out here.
Yep.
So this is a par 4. This is a birdie putt.
Yep.
I'm seeing it move off to the
left,
a little right to left. It was about 20 feet. I counted off. So I'm gonna go like between that little clump of dirt, like 3 inches right.
Yep.
Somewhere between there.
I like it.
About 20 footer. Let's get a good roll.
Get up.
Gonna get there?
Get up. Good roll.
I got the start line right. You might need to just give it a touch more break if you can. Ooh, good try. That
Good
was
roll
another
again.
one. Another good putt.
Gotta get one of these to fall. There we go.
Good par. Solid. I got the flag.
I got you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
You make the putt, I'll put the flag back.
It's a fair deal.
Hey, look, that's another par though. We're staying there.
So it's +1 after 4 now. Nice. We're cruising. All right.
Company culture is incredibly important.
Take a break.
It really is. And you have to get people kind of early on and really drive it home.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about company culture kind of organizationally with everyone when we first start training them. And it's, you know, we rely on really kind of 2 big picture items as far as like business operators, like the folks that are my GMs and even my franchisees, you know, Unreasonable Hospitality, which is actually a book by Will Guidara. It's an amazing book. We were kind of practicing it, you know, without having read the book, but then we kind of mandated it for all of our operators to read the book. So
cool.
I think going above and beyond in terms of the customers, you know, and for us with the Boil Company, it's like we talked about on the course, but the food is one thing, and you want to make sure you have a good product that you're giving to customers to eat, as far as, you know, in the restaurant space. But it's the experience more so. I think that's more important, right? And when you can practice this unreasonable hospitality approach, it goes a long way. Like, service is something that I think even in the past few years has kind of fallen away in a lot of ways, from maybe some other business, whatever. But keeping that front of mind is really important. So unreasonable hospitality is a big thing for us. Just making sure your customers are not only satisfied, but like going above and beyond. You know, it takes just a little bit more effort and energy to take care of your customers in that way. But the results and the consequences, if you will, when you can do that, are profound.
For sure.
You know, the loyalty that you get from customers, the brand awareness, all of those things, positive reviews, and that's huge. So just to kind of keep going on that, positive reviews, like reviews are incredibly important in business, right?
Yeah.
You know, we actually have these little menu cards we put out on the tables when we do our boils on site, where you have a QR code you can scan that sends you to the review page, whether it's Google, Facebook, TripAdvisor, Yelp, all these platforms.
Nice.
Last year, the Kerala location, which is the first location I ever opened up, we were the #1 family-friendly restaurant in the entire USA on TripAdvisor, which is an amazing, amazing feat.
On the entire USA?
Entire USA, #6 in the world. And it was crazy because, like, I didn't even know.
That's awesome. Wow.
It was funny. I didn't, and it all comes from reviews, right? And it comes from people, like, mentioning, you know, the boilers by name, whether it was Jed, whether it was Sammy, whether it was, you know, myself, you know, but they're mentioning the name, and they're talking about not only the food being great, but the experience that they had. Look, and the nice thing too, we talked about this, but like it's quiet out here, you know? You don't fear, we're not rushed like normal summer golf tends to be, especially here on the Outer Banks with so many people. And, it's a nice feeling to not have to be the pressure of someone, you know, playing up at you, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just that pressure of like, you don't want to slow them down, or you don't even want to give them the thought that we're dragging our feet or whatever.
Oh, exactly.
I think about all that stuff all the time. Usually, you know, when I'm playing, it's busy, so this is hugely refreshing.
It's a bit of a terrifying feeling, you know, when you're playing and you're, you know, especially if you're having a bad round. And then, look, golf is such a mental game too, right? So, and it's rhythm, it's tempo, it's all these things. And if you have someone kind of up your ass, you know, that's playing on you, it's quick to get out of tempo and out of rhythm and things like that.
100%.
So,
I'm pretty sensitive to that, actually.
Oh,
like,
no doubt.
If, you know, even if on the other end, if I'm like waiting 5 or 10 minutes on every shot too, it's like, I just lose that little bit of focus at 5 or 10%, and you just
I think that's even more impactful, right? Is if you're sitting there waiting and you can kind of like, look, you want to be loose. Again, this isn't a sport, right? So you want to be loose, and you kind of sit there and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. You know, that definitely has an effect, you know?
Big time. Yeah, I mean, a lot of athletic activities are like kind of reactive.
Sure.
For the most part. So when you're forced to think about what you're going to react to, it gets weird
no
quick.
doubt.
So this is saying 155 on the card.
Ooh, that placement. Tee it up.
You got some nice clubs, by the way.
Well, it's funny, man. Like I said, I won a bet, you know, that Yukon bet.
That's so cool.
And I had a little extra coin, and I went down. Actually, I was just getting my driver re-gripped, you know, put a new shaft on it. and this guy had these like gently used Titleist T200s, and I was like, oh, well, might as well. Yeah.
Sign me up, yeah.
Maybe you go on a boil and there's a little kid there that is just, you know, quiet, a little shy. If you give them a little attention, you let them come be a part of the boil, like the smiles you get to see on children and family members, like, and I'll just use this as an example. Like earlier this year, there was a kid that, I think they're from Indiana, and he just started playing lacrosse, but he had his lacrosse stick, and I saw his lacrosse stick when I got to the boil. I was like, yo, dude, like, do you play lacrosse? He's like, yeah, man, I just started playing. And he wasn't super comfortable playing with the lacrosse stick, but I cooked the food, we talked about lacrosse, dumped it out, and then I grabbed the kid. The kid actually came back downstairs as I was cleaning up, and I had my lacrosse stick in the truck, and we played for the next 30 minutes.
No way.
Like while the
Wow,
family was eating.
That's super
and
cool.
like the smile on his face was amazing. Like that was so filling, like, you know, to me. And then the mom just came up to me at the end and was just like, thank you so much. And like that's bigger than boils, man. But we get to do that as like the vehicle. Like the boil is the vehicle to connect with human beings.
I love that. That's great.
And,
Great.
you know, I know a lot of my guys, you know, have the same sort of stories that they can tell about boils they've done where they've connected with customers in that way. And that's what we're preaching. And again, it's just this holistic approach to mental health that we can take to look out for our own and everyone around us. Community, and
You made
giving
a
back.
lifelong memory for that kid.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
he's never going to forget that vacation where he got to go play lacrosse with the guy that did the boil at their house. He's never going to forget that.
It's a cool feeling. You know, it's
who knows?
special.
Maybe that helps him like stick with lacrosse. It helps him, you know.
He's some professional lacrosse player in the next 10 years. Yeah.
I mean, even at the least, maybe he gets a college scholarship because of you, dude. Like, you've
that's
had
a cool feeling.
lifelong impact on that kid.
It's a cool
for sure.
feeling. That's right at it.
I went right at it anyway. Yeah. Whoops.
Wow.
We'll take it.
Dude, look, I think you going first might be the ticket here. Good ball.
We could do that from now on.
Good ball.
I'll take that all day.
Wow, that was pretty. The pressure falls off when you get one out there like that, right?
Big time. Oh, nice. Good
Sit.
strike. Get up.
Open
Nuked.
face.
Well done.
Well, hey, we got two out there.
Here you go.
Thank you, sir. Good ball. Really pretty.
Thank you.
Really pretty.
Hey, we got a birdie look now.
Hey, look, now we got to. Oh, shoot, black cat.
Whoa.
I'm superstitious.
Just bad luck.
I don't know. I don't even want to think about it now.
I'm going to take it as good luck. I like
You know
animals.
what? I like that.
I like animals. So,
Oh, yeah.
he was just saying hi to us. He was wishing us a nice round.
Yeah, I
It was
have
good
I have a 12-year-old Rhodesian Ridgeback at home.
Oh, awesome.
About 100 pounds. He's a monster.
Those are very cool dogs.
Yeah, they're super loyal, super stubborn,
Yeah.
very mind of their own, but they're very loyal dogs too.
Yeah.
And Jackson, when I graduated college, the Boil Company was my senior project at UNC Wilmington. Yeah,
Oh.
and it was not well received initially by a lot of folks. Even my folks were like, Matt, really? Like, what are you doing? You know?
Really?
And it slowly kind of came around.
Interesting.
It was a side hustle.
What was their hesitation?
I was an idiot. I think that was it.
Oh, I can relate to that.
But it slowly came together. I was running out of my apartment for the first 4 years, and working other jobs and doing the boils on the side. And eventually, the boils went from 10 boils to 30 boils to 60 boils to 250 out of the apartment.
Whoa.
And at
So
that
you're
point,
cooking out of your apartment too? Or?
well, I was prepping.
Or you were just doing all the prep? Okay.
And then we were doing all the boils on site at the people's vacation
All of
houses.
them, I see.
And then
There was no takeout at that point?
No, not at that point.
I see.
And in 2016, we opened the first location in Kerala and add the takeout element, and that was huge. That was able for us to unlock another set of clientele. You know what I mean? Like the caterings we were doing for 10 or more people. Good divot. Look at that.
Serious divot there. Wow, I got it.
You got it there.
That's
But yeah, that was definitely when we got to the space and we had the legit operation and the prep space, et cetera, being able to do the little boil pots that you take home and steam yourself was a good option for 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, anyone that didn't have enough people to do a catering.
Sure.
Which is a big deal. All right, what do you see in there?
So we got about 12 feet, and I'm seeing it move off towards Jed just a little bit at the end, maybe in
Yeah, I
that
see
last
that too.
foot or so.
Pretty straight, a little downhill past it, but
Yeah. 12 footer. I'm gonna go inside the cup on this.
Okay.
Just right edge. I pushed that one pretty bad.
right.
Yeah, don't listen to that line. That was, push that. Wow, another
If I
great
hit
roll.
another darn edge.
Dude, you're burning edges today. That's fine, easy par. Nice. Well done.
Well,
you.
we're playing par here.
Yeah.
Got to get a score. Got to get a score. Gosh, that was such a pretty iron though off the tee. There,
Thank
man.
you, I appreciate
What a
that.
good ball.
So we were saying we were gonna try to break 80. I mean, we're +1 after 5 right now. I think.
I think we're looking at maybe low 70s here.
Yeah, I think we should change that goal.
That's
I'd like to try to get it to 75.
All right, I'm with it.
75 or better, +3 or better.
Let's do it.
It's pretty realistic at this point. We're playing well.
Yeah. Hopefully, again, we can get some negative scores here.
Yeah, let's get a couple birds.
That's right.
So you started this business as a school project. That's
It
that's
was.
a pretty cool story.
And look, I mean, part of the issue was, again, like me being the issue. You know, I was a college senior. It was a project assigned to me at the beginning of the semester. You know, it was basically build a business plan over the semester. You know, turn it in. And I had been living in the Outer Banks every summer for the last like 3 years. So I knew the Outer Banks. I knew kind of, you know, what was missing. You know, dining out when you have such a large group.
It's always been a
It
kind of
is
a
a challenge.
shortcoming
Yeah.
of this area.
No doubt. And even back then at that time, the idea of like private chefing and you know, that sort of thing was not as popular as it's become, which has been very good to us. But
You were ahead of the curve on that because now people like are really into that stuff
absolutely,
for social media.
and it's huge. It's huge. You know, I think too part of it is a lot of things now, and I think the consumer behaviors change too. People want an experience attached to whatever they're doing. And the Boil Company provides that, which is it's a good thing too.
You know, it's a really cool thing because it's like everybody's got to eat,
Yep.
but you provide something that, you know, you can take a Snapchat or an Instagram video for like if you go out to eat at a restaurant.
Right.
But now you can do that in your own home and you have like a
Absolutely.
really cool, not only like the food is like cool to look at, but the way you guys present it, like,
presentation,
it's
yeah,
very
absolutely.
social media friendly.
That's been very good to us. You know, we've had a lot of success with that, and
I could imagine.
it's look, ultimately it's fun too, man. We're having a good time doing it. We're meeting good people, and I think
It seems like he's having a blast. I talk to him all the time.
That's right, man.
He's always coming back from these boils and he's like, yeah, it went great. These guys really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
Tipped me well, so yeah, we're all happy.
that's right. Look, everyone's happy by the end of it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I think we got what, water out left here.
Water all at the left side, trees on the right. Those bunkers are way out there,
Yep.
so we don't have to worry about that.
It's got to be what we're looking at, par 5 here.
Yeah, it's pretty open, long par 5.
All right. Outright.
Right. Man, you hit the ball a long ways. It went far.
I think hitting it where I need to hit it would be better. Hitting it far is one thing, but you got to put it in play.
Some balance of accuracy and
balance,
power.
balance,
Yeah.
balance, balance.
No cuts there. Oh, I hit wood. I think it's okay though.
Oh, great, look.
Got a good
Bounce off the tree there.
Take that.
You know, we kind of adjusted things. Franchising as far as expansion wasn't the best pathway for us.
Okay.
And then last year we opened 3 new locations, all of which we talked about it on the range, but Boil University stores. So stores that are run by guys that used to work for us here, used to work for me here, and really know the culture. They understand the business, which is a bit of a better pathway for us. Franchising, we had folks that really had to learn the Boil Company stuff on the fly.
And that takes some
And that's
time.
tougher. That's tougher, you know.
And
so.
plus, they're getting into it to like own a business.
Right.
So there's kind of a potential conflict with like, do they want to know all the details?
Yes. Yes.
That could be an issue with franchises.
Yeah, and franchising, you know, again, like in franchising, ultimately the goal is royalty self-sufficiency.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of units, a lot of stores, a lot of infrastructure required. And I think there was a realization of like, I don't want that. You know,
That's
I
not
don't
the
want
direction you're going
100
for.
units. You know, I don't want 100 boil companies all over the East Coast.
Right.
I want really hand-picked, good
Prime
operators
locations.
in prime locations and prime markets.
Working
you know.
with the right people too.
Exactly. Yep.
So you call it Boil, what did you say, Boil University?
Boil you, baby.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Which is, again, it's a very unofficial sort of program we have, but look, it's been good. You know, like we discussed on the range, you know, I had 2 guys from Boil U at stores in Emerald Isle, North Carolina and Oak Isle, North Carolina that hit their first sales threshold, you know, this past week and, you know, got $10,000 bonuses each.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really good to,
That is so cool.
watch your friends succeed with you, you know.
Yeah, spread the wealth, spread the
Absolutely.
knowledge. You guys just
Absolutely.
get to succeed together.
Yep.
Alrighty. We got about 210. There's a 200-yard mark over there, so
Yep.
210. There's nothing short of the green. I got a 4-iron here. Just gonna let it rip. Try to get on in 2.
Rip it and rip it. Go.
Get up.
Go.
A little short. I caught that a little fat. It's a little soft.
All right.
Ooh.
Come back.
Trying to cut. So this has been going on for 8 years then, right? You said 2016 was when you...
Yeah, so
Things
I
off?
started 2012, was the first year doing boils.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So you've officially
but
been over a
officially-
decade.
Yep.
Very cool. Wow.
Opening the store, the first store, and really legitimizing the effort
Right.
was 2016. And currently, sitting here 2024, we have 9 locations: New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and then there's 1 down in Florida still. It's really cool. I think we have close to, at the peak of the season across all locations, you know, 70, 80 employees, you know.
No way. Oh wow. So you're quickly getting to that 100 people mark.
Yeah, you know, and I think
Very impressive, man. Good
thank
job,
you.
dude.
Thank
That
you,
is so
brother.
cool.
Thank
That
you.
is really like just great to hear.
it's fun. You know, my mom has been a part of it. She was my first ever employee. She was my catering manager. She was my
Hell yeah.
shop lady.
That's awesome.
When we got into franchising, she worked a little bit more so on the on kind of the global marketing and website stuff, all these different things. So she's worn a lot of hats, and I think, you know, whenever you're in business, you tend to do that, right?
Right.
Everyone involved tends to wear a lot of hats.
To juggle a lot of responsibilities.
But, you know, last year, you know, my mom has actually kind of taken a bit of a step back this year, which has been great for her. You know, she's now in her retirement era, if you will, but it's really hard for her to give up, you know, any of the work that she does. She's so attached to it. But with that being said, you know, her and I launched the charitable arm of Outer Banks Boil Company called Our Epic Project.
Our
last
epic
year.
project. Cool.
Yep, and EPIC is actually an acronym. We actually have 2 uses for EPIC. For the charitable side of things, it's Emitting Positive Impact Collectively, which is kind of a cool little thing. We're trying to get the community together. We'll touch on the 3 pillars, but internally, as far as educating my employees, we use like Be Epic, which is efficient, passionate, impactful, and consistent. And those 4 things, as far as running a business and working within a business,
Those are like
really good pieces.
Those are really good traits to highlight.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. This epic idea that you have, where'd
Yep.
that come from?
I think I was tinkering with it, and I think I changed it a few times. It was back when we started doing franchising, and we were basically trying to put our company culture that had never been on paper onto paper, because we
define
needed
it.
that, you know, sort of documented, you know, binder for our franchisees.
Right.
And I think it just kind of was just kind of grew out of, you know, what we had been doing for years. It's Be Epic, you know, and epic in this case is, you know, efficient, passionate, impactful, and consistent.
I love that.
And I think those 4 things are really, really, you know, important in terms of the culture we build. And that's allowed us with the Boil Company to build this, what we mentioned on the course again, but this Boil University, and it's very informal, as is basically everything the Boil Company does. We have this like reverse mullet philosophy where it's like, it's not business in the front, party in the back. It's party in the front, business in the back. So outwardly to the customers, we're fun, it's engaging, it's super great. You know, we don't make meals, we make memories, but on the back end, everything is so buttoned up, and gosh, kudos to my mom, you know, we call her the chief mom officer. She's dealing with a bunch of 30-year-old guys trying to figure shit out. My COO, Kirk, you know, my buddy Ryan, my buddy Justin, these guys that are part of the Boil Company, all of our operators, you know, they practice the EPIC philosophy. They practice Unreasonable Hospitality and Relentless Ambassadorship, and they help kind of promote the culture to their own employees. So when you can kind of get that trajectory going, and it stems out not only from headquarters to the other stores to the employees, and it just kind of keeps building and building and building. It's amazing. So, but company culture, I think, is one of the top few things in business that you really need to prioritize as you build.
Absolutely.
You know, so
it sounds like you got a great company culture, which is, first of all, impressive. I mean,
Thank you.
You're absolutely crushing it on so many fronts. Number one on TripAdvisor's unbelievable.
That was a big achievement, you know, and
that's really cool.
Look, that is credit to each and every one of the employees at that location. It's credit to, you know, my mom would respond to every single review. You know, not canned responses, hand typed out, you know, responding by name to these customers. But that's part of Unreasonable Hospitality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And my mom is an incredible practitioner of that. You know, it's something, you know, I was taught as a kid. You know, I don't know if it was ever kind of called that way, you know, Unreasonable Hospitality at the time, but that's something that really resonated with me, and she operates in that way. And now to be able to see my other stores doing those things, I mean, it's amazing.
It's surreal. In some ways, it's got to be.
Never in my wildest dreams I imagined we'd be in this place with, you know, 9 locations up and down the East Coast, you know, close to 60, 70, 80 employees, you know, at peak season. I just wanted to live at the beach and, you know, cook shrimp. And now it's kind of built to what it is. But there's credit to so many people that, you know, is just, it's not. Company culture is one thing that starts, you know, probably, you know, with one person, but you need other folks to kind of follow and be ambassadors in the same way and spread that message. So that's huge. Great. You know, kind of pivoted away from franchising the business, you know, so much. But as far as expansion, like we want to continue to expand, but we want to do it the right way, and with the right folks, and we've had the most success with internal people who, and I hate to use this word, but like people that are kind of indoctrinated into the Boil Company culture end up becoming better operators than someone that in franchising maybe kind of had us for one boil and, you know, hey, we could do this here. And I'm not saying that, you know, that doesn't work, but for us, we've just had more success doing it kind of internally with people that have been in the system for a little while. You know, it makes it a little bit easier. So I think that's a big part of it.
Well, that ties back in perfectly with how do you maintain that culture, right? Having people that have learned the culture thoroughly through firsthand experience, then taking on more responsibility to share and spread that same message is a very effective way of staying consistent. When you bring in new perspectives or philosophies, all of a sudden they want to.
Well, and it's empowering. You know, if you're empowering your employees, that's a big deal, and that goes a long way, right? You want to see people grow.
Good swing. Sit.
Bite. Trying to.
Good ball.
Take it. Okay, we got about 6 feet. Pretty straight. I want to hit this one. This is a good birdie look. I'm going straight at it. Hit the back of the cup.
Get a score here.
Yeah, good putt. Good work. Good bird. Good
back
bird.
To even. All right.
Course record?
Hell yeah.
It's always nice in a scramble when you don't have to even take a shot, you know?
Keep that putter cover.
Keep the putter cover on.
That's the 6th hole, even after 6. Oh, we're cruising.
We're even, man. Let's go.
Great
No, and I love that. I mean, the educational side of things, and like just talking shop, right? Like
100%.
And I think it's super cool. You know, the parallels we have as far as like the aviation industry. You know, that's a super cool. We'll chat about that more, I'm sure. But one thing I've always, you know, and even going back to the early days of the Boil Company, you know, the Boil Company was my side hustle, right? You know, I was working full time. I was waiting tables. I was, you know, doing surf lessons. I was, you know, doing skateboard lessons, working in a surf shop. I was, you know, running jet skis. I was doing all these different things, you know. But I think one thing that I've always had in my adult life, in my professional life, is a side hustle, right? The Boil Company was it. That eventually evolved into my main hustle. And now with the aviation thing as a bit of a side hustle, you know, we get to do that. You know, there's other business opportunities and ventures, you know, I'm involved in, and it makes it fun. I think it keeps you sharp. When you're learning, you know, you're learning different things.
Oh yeah.
You got to keep your mind sharp. And, you know, physically, you got to stay fit too. I think that's a big part of it as well, you know, so I think that's our box there, right?
Yeah. That's the whole thing with life, right? It's like, it's all about experiencing life, but it's also like learning, you know? That's always the most satisfying part of most experiences, is the stuff you learned along the way.
Well, I think the moment you stop learning, like, you can become complacent, right?
Totally,
and complacency, I've always kind of used this, but like, complacency kills dreams, man. The moment you become comfortable and you're like complacent, like,
Comfort kills.
yes, exactly. Comfort kills, man.
I've now said that. I've probably said that once a week for the last 2 months. Comfort kills.
Absolutely.
It's such a, like, you know, people seek comfort every day. And it's like, when you seek discomfort is when you grow.
Exactly.
So it's such a weird, you know, concept. Kind of goes back to the being uncomfortable, or being comfortable with uncomfortable situations.
Agreed.
You know, people don't want to be uncomfortable because they're afraid it's going to be uncomfortable.
Sure.
So if you just like get over that fear, you start to really, you know, level up.
I think it gives you progress, right? Like, I use this, and it's kind of cheesy, but, you know, like, sharks die when they stop swimming.
Totally,
right? Like, you got to have water moving over your gills, you know. And for us, like, water moving over your gills, I think for us in life is just, you got to be moving. And we've kind of talked about this off camera, but you know, I don't like sitting still. You know, I know you don't either. We just all kind of connected on that level, but. You know, just moving, constant motion, and constant learning, you know, and the ability to be receptive to learning from anyone and everyone, and anything and everything. Just that openness, you know, allows you to take in a lot. And again, you can digest and pick and choose what makes sense to you and what doesn't. But having openness and just an open-minded approach to life in general, I think just allows more information to come in your way that you can then disseminate and use in whatever fashion you'd like to. But I think that's a really good piece of advice, is just don't be so close-minded. You know, rather stay open-minded to any and all perspectives. And you know, again, we can find ourselves like locked into our personal beliefs that can be, you know, impactful, negatively or positively. But I think just being open-minded, at least in terms of the approach, allows you to, you know, take it all in and then make the best, most informed decision from there.
Yeah, it goes back to your tattoo, like, you know, that managing expectations. Don't expect, you know, if you're expecting something to be dangerous, if you're afraid of it being dangerous, negatively impactful, like, your expectations are already setting.
And you're already fearful of it, right?
So if you just don't expect it to go either way, there's no space for fear in that equation. So, very cool.
I like that. That's it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. That's a good point there.
The open-mindedness, I think about this a lot too. So just the fact that you tell yourself to be open-minded is almost like a reminder to not make the assumptions of the things you're afraid of. Right. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think, and you know, again,
I learned something just now.
Hey, look, that's what we're here for, man. Like, this back and forth. That's it.
This is all worth it for that lesson.
There you go. You know, and I think that's, I don't know. It's just, I think everyone can really find themselves so closed-minded when it comes to like certain opinions, right? Everyone has their own opinions. You you know, and like
Certainly.
just back to the never assume thing, right? Like what's the quote about, you know, assuming?
Yeah,
it's like
you make an ass
out of you and me, right?
Right.
So I think
I love
that's
that
always
one.
kind of stuck with me, you know, and that I look at never assume. It's like ass you me. I can see that on my leg.
Never ask you me.
Yeah, exactly. Never ask you me, right? So, you know, it's something that kind of flows into my mind often, but a lot of times I find myself not even looking at it, and it's right there for a reason, so that I can look down and be like, all right, you know, go back to this mantra, go back to this mantra. But it's tough, man. Especially when you know, in such a fast-paced world that we're living in, it's tough to find those moments to really slow down. But I think that's another important piece to this entire conversation. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you're just working in business or you're a golfer, you got to find those little moments to yourself to just kind of sit and reflect, and you know, just have the patience, take the time. And try to take it all in.
Exactly.
And being in the moment is really important. I think it's a better pathway. And I think the older we get, the wiser we get, the more we can grasp that.
Just from my career perspective, you know, the successes have been amazing. We've done really amazing stuff. You know, doing stuff with Epic now, being able to give back to the community is so important. But the failures in business have taught me way more than any success ever will, right? And I think those moments where you're like, quite frankly, what
the heck do I do?
You know,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Oh my God,
How do I figure this out?
I've been there
Like,
so many times.
and you have to, like, you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, there's no other way to do it. You know,
Another thing for me with this channel is like, I don't exactly have the perfect recipe down. So it's part of it is like just repetitions, going through the repetitions,
Absolutely.
learning what works, what doesn't work, just gaining whatever you can from experience.
Well, and that's it. I mean, experience is the best educator, right? You know,
Exactly, yeah.
I went to school. I got a business degree. The Boil Company was born out of my college education.
Yeah.
But I really can't sit here and say that college taught me more than I've learned doing the work, right? Going through the failures in business, whether it was franchising not being as successful as we had hoped, missing sales tax, missing quarterly tax payments. Having good accountants and attorneys will save you a lot of money and pain in the long run. So
That's a great tip. Get a good accountant.
get a good accountant and a good attorney.
Good shot. Dude, you are crushing this thing. We set it on the tee like 3 holes ago. I'll go first, take the pressure off.
I think that's it, man. I got off the way we should have been doing it, you know?
Oh, no worries.
Pretty. Stay.
Hang on now. Trying to stay.
All right. That
Yeah,
looks
we're
good.
I think it was up in the air for a minute.
It was hovering there.
Yeah. Take that.
I love the
Thanks.
boxing glove head cover. That's good stuff.
Yeah, knockout punch.
That's right.
Driver's the big swing.
That's it.
How long have you been golfing for?
Jeez, man. I started playing a little bit growing up. You know, my dad always played. My brothers, I'm the oldest of 3 boys.
Oh, cool.
So we all kind of played a little bit. I never really got into it, probably until I moved down here when I was probably 22, 23.
Okay.
And played much more then.
Yeah, I like this. I'll lead it off. We got a muddy ball. Smooth 6-iron here. Nice. This is going to be a soft lie. All right. Yeah, I got caught up in it.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. Ooh, very nice. Bomb.
Sit.
Alrighty, chip in time.
Dunk it.
See what I can do.
swing. Get up.
Give us a roll. She bit. All right, we got some work to do. Big par save.
Come back, ball. Come back, ball. Get in.
Try
Get
it.
in.
Ooh.
Really good run at it, though.
I pulled it a touch. There you go. Yeah, I pulled that just a little bit, but pretty good. You gotta start a little right.
It's not enough.
Get up. Good try. Alrighty. Not quite a gimme. A little bit of work left.
Good finish.
That
Good
was
finish.
a crazy putt, dude. I'm like, I did some sort of weird little hesitation here, and then I somehow caught the ball on the heel. And I'm like, I'm pointing way over there. If I catch it on the heel, it'll go. That a lot of stuff just happened in my head there, but it worked out.
Look, it's the end result, right? No matter how you get there.
So according to the camera, that's exactly what I was trying to do, right?
Oh, Lordy.
I tend to do that too with golf, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit this little low cut. It's gonna go right over that tree and land 10 feet left of the bunker. And then like I do something way different, and I could have just been like, yeah.
That's exactly what I was trying. Yeah.
I always do that.
Oh, that's.
I like details, so.
Yeah. Oh, look, that's. I think that's an important part of things, right? Like making sure and contingencies and details and everything that goes with it, right? Like you can have all the details in the world and have it kind of figured out, but then as soon as it's a fan, you better have a plan. You better have a plan to figure it out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And sometimes not even a plan, just like a understanding of how things work.
Right.
So that when things do go badly, you can adapt.
Exactly.
Instinctively.
Absolutely.
One of the kind of lessons that stuck with me early on in my career relating to expectations, this concept of managing expectations, right? So when you're interacting with a client or a customer, you set the expectation. You kind of doing a little bit of convincing potentially in the sales process, but you don't want to oversell the service or the product to the point where they're expecting something dramatically different than what you can offer.
Precisely.
When you have that big delta between expectation and what you can actually deliver,
deliverable, exactly. Yep.
You create a really dangerous environment where you have an uphill battle that you pretty much can't win.
Absolutely.
If you promise everything and then can't deliver on that, it doesn't work. So going back to, out on the golf course, if you're telling yourself you're going to break 72, you've never broken 90.
Yep.
You're setting yourself up to fail, and that's not a great strategy for success.
No.
So,
and I think that's a really great point too, because and I'm not going to sit here and say the best practice is undersell, over deliver, because like you don't want to undersell yourself or your business to the point where this person's like, man, this is not whatever you're selling, they're not convinced, right? But I think again, it's managing. It's and we talked about this on the course, but it's balance. It's balance, right?
Absolutely.
I think we all, as entrepreneurs, we know, and we covered this just on the course, but we know our strengths. We know our well, you should know your strengths, and you should know your weaknesses. I think even more.
Definitely.
And I think that allows you to manage expectations. And whether you're in a sales kind of career, being able to sell, requires a lot of nuance. And for me in the Boil Company, it was a long process. I'm now 13 seasons in, and even when I first started, like I had no idea what I was doing, but you learn as you go, and you have to take those learning moments, and whether it's those failures or whatever the case may be, you have to take those and use those and then channel them into having a better approach, the next time.
Absolutely.
So that's a big piece of it for sure, I think.
That's something that working in aviation has definitely taught me. Like,
Oh my gosh, yes.
you were dealing with fire, well, not literal fires, thankfully, but
Well,
you're dealing with
hope not in aviation, right?
Right, yeah. You're dealing with a lot of people that they get upset really quickly about some weird
Well, and I
shit.
mean, so it's funny you bring that up too, because like, let's look at what happened 2 days ago with Microsoft and all the flights that got canceled across, the nation, right?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
So yesterday, my brother got into town. My folks have a house up in Corova on the 4-wheel drive beach.
Oh, cool.
All
the way up there.
Yep.
Nice.
My dad just retired, basically like 3 weeks ago, and he's living down here now. My mom basically spends most of her time down here. But my brother got into town with like 10 of his buddies.
Oh, wow.
One of his buddies' girlfriends was stuck in Denver, and she had a flight to Norfolk that got canceled. Yesterday, she figured out a way to get out of Denver to Richmond. So we called our pilot, one of my guys, Chris, who I mentioned earlier. He flew to Richmond. We had another charter that showed up, so they did a shared flight into Manio last night, and we got her here on time, which is amazing.
So cool, wow.
So it was like, my dad and I texted Chris, we're like, hey dude, can you make this happen real quick, da-da-da. Grabbed the plane, picked him up, got him back to Manio by 10 o'clock.
That's unbelievable, wow.
So it saved an entire day of travel and all the shit that goes with it, you know, so. All right.
And a major headache, yeah.
Oh, big time, right?
Damn,
all right,
she's
we're
probably so
here
happy
again.
to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a relief. She was cool.
All right, you're going first here to show us the way.
Yes, sir.
Back to what we was working.
We're gonna send it here. I think the left side is the better side. Right, Jed? Do you wanna be on the left half of this fairway? Yeah. Alrighty. Pop one out there. How far is this?
279.
Really?
It's gettable.
Okay.
It's gettable.
I see. Okay, I gotta reassess. Alright. Let's hit a straight shot.
Smoke that thing.
Too far. There's water over there. I had done this before. I forgot about that. There's like a little, I don't know what you call it, like wetlands that juts out. You see those
on the
tall
left
grasses?
there? Okay.
I think I went right into it. Speed, dude.
Ah,
That's nice. That's exactly where we want it. I got my 50-degree out here. I'm guessing about 60 yards. Just got to get over this little low spot. Hop it right in. All right. Ooh, it's rolling the wrong way. Ah, pretty solid though. Ooh, very nice.
Get up. Get up.
Hell yeah. I think we're using that. Great shot, man. That was a beauty.
All right, what are we seeing here?
About 10, 11 feet. There's a little bit of stuff going on. It kind of looks like maybe even uphill, like right at the start, and then going back down.
A little bit, yeah. Nope.
Good try.
Higher.
Got it.
This side, yep.
Okay. You gotta hit it, dude.
Come on.
You gotta hit it,
Come
dude.
on.
That was it. Now we're leaving him short. Okay. So that's a double.
Uh-oh.
That's a double. All right.
All right,
Fine.
3 over.
Puts us at +3 after 8. Okay. A little bit of adversity now. We lowered our goal, sticking to it. So we're +3, which means we got to par out the rest of the way.
Okay.
Average. I mean, we make a bogey and a birdie, be fine.
Let's get a couple scores. That's
Yeah.
I think we need here.
This next hole should be gettable, potentially. That hole should have been gettable. We didn't think that one through off the tee.
No. That's why you play the game.
That was pretty funny. As we were talking about like attention to detail, and then we're just like, oh, let's just rip it.
Just grip it and rip it, right?
Immediately, the lesson was handed right back. I love that.
That's the golf gods in work, you know?
They're like, hey, hang on.
Hey, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah, we got a par 5 here, so. All right, good drive and a good second shot, and then.
So it looks like, what, dog leg right?
Yeah.
Coming up here? Okay.
Yeah, and the second shot's a bit uphill.
All right, 512 total.
Those bunkers are pretty far out there. Okay, big drive here. There is water on the right too. I don't know if you can see that. There's that little puddle.
Yeah, that cut there, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go get it. Take a
score here to wrap up 9.
Yeah. Oh no, she didn't cut. She wet. Yep. Pressure's
All right, pressure's on now.
on. Damn, I wanted that thing to cut. That felt good too.
Stay. You.
It landed right up the right edge.
This is a very humbling game, isn't it?
Golf is a really humbling game, man.
It sure is.
Humility is a pretty solid trait. So sometimes it's good to get a little, you get a little too confident. We're cruising, thinking the course is kind of easy, and now, back to reality.
It's funny how it does it to you, But I think, again, there's so many parallels to golf in life that just make a ton of sense. But the successes are great in life, but then you have those humbling moments that kind of bring you back to earth and kind of help you reset.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's not always rainbows and
Right.
sunshine, but you can't appreciate the sun without a little bit of rain. Right?
Well, that's exactly it too. You hit a bad shot like this, and then when next time you do connect, it's like that much
all
more
right.
satisfying.
That's right.
I've got my 5-wood and my 4-iron.
Get through there. Get through there.
Good ball.
Nice.
Good, really. I mean,
That was cool.
that worked.
I played that probably a little too aggressively, but I kind of wanted to just hit a draw around the corner. Hard path. Dude, you launched that
We're
thing.
just gonna cut, man.
That's it. Wow. Man, it came off the face hot.
5 over now.
Yeah, it's back-to-back double bows.
That's painful. That's painful.
It's a bit of a weak finish going into the back 9. But you know what? That happens. What are you gonna do?
Golf, baby.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll take it. We'll have a good, strong back 9. And like my stuff, please. Please, please, please. I'm asking you nicely. Hey. Asking you nicely. Hey. Please. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff. One of them. I'll take one of them. But thanks for getting to the end of this video. That's huge. If you got this far, that means you're in the right place. You're looking for the right kind of content. I'm here to provide it to you. So you're the guy I'm talking to. I don't care about the guy who clicked out of this thing, 3 minutes in, because his attention span can't handle it. You made it over an hour in, so that's awesome. Congratulations. You're trying to be the best version of yourself. That's huge. We love that. Go ahead and comment. You make it the whole way through. Secret code is bananas. If I see that, then I'll know you made it. I like that. I like that. Alrighty. Anyway, back to the episode. We got to practice definitely some humility,
Yes.
definitely some patience.
Yes.
The patience is the key thing for me. I tend to play impatiently, so I want to rip it, play super aggressive, and we saw the few times we played a little too aggressive, the short par 4s, we tried to go for it.
Yeah.
Double bogey, just
Yeah.
like that. Puts us right back in our place.
Well, and it's funny because I think, I think that's, humility and patience are two really, really important things that you have to kind of learn through life, you
Right.
know, and you can learn it through golf, you can learn it through playing other sports, you know, growing up, or and you definitely learn it through business. You know, patience is something that, you know, I struggle with, and it's not only in business, in relationships, in golf, because if your tempo's not right or your rhythm's not right, that can be detrimental, you know, in a lot of different ways. But finding patience, you know, I think allows you to, you know, hopefully play better golf, and then make better business decisions and life decisions, you know. So you need to learn patience, and sometimes it takes a little while to learn it, but I think that's an important thing to learn and to focus on, you know.
Yeah,
so, you know, the entrepreneurship journey is very non-linear, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and I think golf in a lot of ways can be very non-linear at times too.
Great point.
You know, so there's a lot of I think symbiosis between the two, but marrying them together, and enjoying the day and the round and the company and talking business and entrepreneurship is that was my favorite part about this. This was very cool.
That's so good to hear. I mean, that's what this is all about. The name of the channel is The Right Approach. It's how do we find the right approach to golf?
Yep.
The right approach to life.
Yeah.
The right approach to, you know, starting a business. All of those things, you know, they have so many correlations. So.
Oh, big time. And they run, you know, whether it's paralleled to one another or, you know, again, it's a very nonlinear path. I think when you're looking
at ups and downs,
big
a lot
time,
of highs,
big
a lot
time.
of lows.
You know, and I think there was moments where we were like, all right, hey, well, it's funny, like let's go back to like when we on the front nine.
Yeah.
And we started off, we were in good shape, and we were like, all right, we had set this goal of break 80.
Yeah.
Maybe we aim for 75, you know, and you know, then we got towards the end of the I think the front nine, and we went double bogey, and we were like, oh shoot, man, maybe that wasn't the right goal, but
A little injection of humility there, right?
we had, I know we had one good birdie on the back, I think, and some good shots, you know, throughout the day. But again, it's the highs and lows, and the parallels between, you know, playing golf and being in business for yourself as an entrepreneur, are very, you know, very symbiotic, you know, and they very closely related. So I think that's a really cool thing. And again, this was just, it's such a fun day, you know, so
That's
super awesome.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching part 1 of Matt's journey on his way to finding the right approach. If you liked it, go ahead, click right here. We're gonna watch part 2. Subscribe so you can get the latest episodes. I'm going to be doing a bunch more interviews over the coming months, sharing more experiences and stories throughout. So definitely follow so you can be the first to get those updates. Go ahead and share this video too. There's a lot of lessons in there. I'm sure you know somebody that can learn something from what we talked about over the last hour. So share it with whoever you think may benefit. I'd sure appreciate it. And lastly, go ahead and give me a like. I know there's some really useful information in there. I know something stuck out that you appreciated and will benefit you at some point in your journey. So go ahead and hit that like button. It also helps me out. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. We're going to have a couple more episodes coming out in the coming weeks, as well as some additional content. So hope you're looking forward to that. I sure am. Thanks.